I'm so confused. Oh my Jesus Christ!
I think we did a pretty good job so far.
Hello.
So today is the day that I finally discuss how I feel about Dead by Daylight. I'm going to be going over a list that I made that I feel covers most of the problems that make this game just super unfun and stale. Before I fully start this video though, I just want to let you guys know that these are my opinions and this is how I feel about the game. I understand not everyone will agree with what I'm saying, and that's completely fine if you don't. I personally have played Dead by Daylight for over 5,000 hours, and it's come to a point where I pretty much burnt myself completely out, but I still want to go over a couple of things that I feel would have definitely kept my interest in this game or made things a bit more exciting. And yeah, I just want to give my opinion on what this game has become. So you all probably saw this one coming, and the first thing on the list is hitboxes. A lot of people say that hitboxes are related to connection, which I do agree. If you have a shitty connection, you're by no doubt going to get hit through pretty much every window you vault. The odd part about hitboxes though is if you watch gameplay around 1 or 2 years ago on this game, you'd probably notice that only like 30% of the hits actually connect compared to nowadays. Back in the day, the weapon would actually have to connect with the survivor's back in order for them to get injured. Nowadays, if you have a little hair sticking out of your back or your butt, it's gonna fucking hit. I feel like hitboxes aren't something I really need to talk about though, considering everyone is aware of them. Call me an entitled survivor main, call me a complaining asshole, but hitboxes really ruined the experience for me. I'm not even gonna get into the hatchet hitboxes or the complete bullshit chainsaw hitbox that the Billy has now. This is something I feel not even dedicated servers would really fix, but even if they did, they really just need to jump on this as soon as possible. The next thing on the list is going to be queue times and 3-man lobbies. This is another common issue which is killing the experience for a lot of people, especially on console. The matchmaking on console, however, I might not want to get into that much considering there might just not be enough people playing. But when it comes down to the 3-man lobbies and people not loading in like literally 50% of your games, you know for a fact something's wrong. I also want to quickly mention a bug that I've been experiencing a lot, which a lot of people might not be able to relate to. But whenever you get into a lobby as a survivor and there's 2 other people waiting with you, waiting for one last person, you sit in that lobby for literally hours on end. The quick solution is just to dodge that lobby and look for a new one. But why are those lobbies locked? What causes that to happen? This has been in the game for like 6 months now. I would have expected it to, you know, somewhat work at this point. Anyways, I don't know if they found any solutions for this or if there's ever going to be any in the future. But it's come to the point when you get a 3-man nowadays, you're like, well, fuck me, right? And then if the killer dodges or you want to leave, then you lose the offering that you spent. And then you either get a farming killer because they feel bad, or it's a 3v1, which in most situations, you're going to be fucked. The next topic is going to be about ranks. I know around a month ago there was a whole topic about D-ranking and whether it was good or not to do. Obviously, if you're a decent player and you D-rank yourself, you're going to be going against someone that's not as skilled as you, and for the most part, you're going to be ruining their experience. I do fall a victim to this considering I have done this in the past, and for the most part, I go against killers that aren't quote-unquote that smart.
Look at those ranks, 19, 19, 18, and 20, and 19.
As an active player of Dead by Daylight, I've climbed the ranking system multiple times to the point where I can't count. But the best part about it is that there is literally no point. The only things you achieve at rank 1 are super long queue times, laggy lobbies, the same killers over and over, and just very dry and boring games. You're pretty much ranking up just to give yourself depression. Back when I played this game a lot more and I was recording videos for Killer at rank 1, it took me like hours on end just to find lobbies. Some days I wouldn't even want to log on or even stream Survivor because I know I'd get the same killers over and over and over. And to be quite honest, it literally makes you want to just play something else and never come back.
Play something else for a week. Try Civilization or something, just for a refreshing change.
I understand how people look at other content creators in disgust for how they derank, but what keeps you at rank 1? If there were cosmetics that were added, if there were tokens that just indicated that you got to rank 1 that season, just a badge, just something that proves that you've done it. We need content, man. We've been dealing with the same stuff for the past fucking years. We're not even at the killers yet, but fucking Legion? Oh, Legion. I don't know, man. I'm getting ahead of myself, but this game has just become super repetitive. At the end of the day, if there was just some sort of indication or just something you earned for getting to rank 1 other than a Steam achievement, I feel like then the whole deranking issue, and possibly even queue times, would get a lot better. Next on the list, we got bad map designs, infinites, and just overall parts of the map that you can't seem to vault. I see a lot of people complaining that there's not enough pallets on the map, which I can understand, but at the same time, if you know where they are, you should be okay. I think the main concern when it comes to pallets is just getting smacked through them, which makes them completely useless. But the thing that I want to talk about is infinites. As a survivor main, I can completely agree that infinites are super OP and for the most part should definitely be removed. Killers have been granted a mechanic called Bloodlust and a perk called Bamboozle, which help them eliminate any infinite and get on with the chase to down the survivor. The only problem with this is that these can be used in stupid situations that they do not need these whatsoever, which can make the game super unfun for a survivor. I by no means want to make it sound like I'm saying that killers are overpowered, but when you're at a pallet loop with the pallet down and the killer doesn't smack it and just tries to bloodlust you for hours on end, what the actual fuck is the point? If the game is relying on a mechanic to help you succeed on a poor map design that wasn't thought out that well, then you know for a fact there's a whole lot of room for improvement. Also, vaults that don't work, I'm not even going to get into this because everyone's experienced this at least once. So I'm not quite done yet. There are a few more problems that I have on my list, which I don't think I'm going to make a bracket for though, considering I still got quite a lot and I want to wrap up this video as soon as possible. The first problem on this list though, which you can all probably guess, is Legion. The way their power works is they'll stab a survivor, and if there's any survivors close, they'll see them as well, which will make them stab them. From there, the survivors will have to mend in a short amount of time before their timer goes down, which if they don't, then they'll go down. Survivor mending is pretty basic. All you gotta do is hold M1 while you're putting your guts back in your stomach. But once you're done that, the Legion's probably gonna be back, and you're gonna have to mend yourself again. This by no means makes them overpowered though, but more so just super annoying for the fact that if they want to actually down a certain person, they have to tunnel them, which not only makes it really frustrating for them, but annoying for the survivor. Another thing I have on my list is infinite loading screens. This kind of relates to when I was talking about lobby simulator, but sometimes you won't even load into the lobbies. You'll just sit in an infinite loading screen and then have to crash your game. And the worst part about this is really consistent. Another huge problem is lag switching. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really ran into that many lag switchers recently, but it was once a massive problem for me, and I've noticed that a lot of people are still suffering with this. This, however, will probably be fixed once dedicated servers are installed into the game, but until then, there's like no way of getting rid of them. Perks are also a big topic in the game, how everyone runs Noed or everyone runs Adrenaline, Decisive, Sprint Burst, just all the meta perks. It's very easy to point out bad perks compared to good perks in this game, and it's kind of sad to see how a lot of perks haven't really been given that much love, or have really no reason to them. I see so many people complaining why I run Adrenaline, Balanced Landing, Exhaustion perks. But like, what do they want me to run? Fucking Deja Vu? Something that I really don't want to bash on the devs about, but the fact that bugs just take so long to get acknowledged. A lot of problems have been in this game now for over like 6 months, which I would imagine wouldn't be too hard to fix, aka the sliding bug and so on. I've always wanted more game modes in Dead by Daylight, like possibly 2 killers and 8 survivors, which that would be a whole different topic, but just something to spice it up, right? But the first priority should be to make the game a lot more stable. There's also the topic about weak and overpowered killers like Freddy and Nurse. I think a really big issue, which I haven't really heard a lot of people talk about, is the fact that whenever they buff a killer, aka like a Freddy or a Leatherface, they buff every single killer, so it's kind of improving the Billy and the Nurse as well. I know there was a topic about reworking Freddy, and that never came to the game, but I think it was an idea back in the day. But I think a lot of reworks need to be done, and not just increasing every single killer, because at this point, going against a good Nurse with good add-ons makes you just want to completely uninstall. I know I already mentioned the ranking system as well, but I feel like I'm not the only one that shares the opinion on how ranking up is just way too easy. As a survivor, you can do a lot in the game and die, and then still rank up. And as killer with hitboxes these days, it's not too difficult to get one kill usually. I know that might not be enough for a pip, but as long as you don't face camp and just get some chases and kick some gens, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. Either ways, I'm pretty sure I missed a few things, but I feel like I've been ranting way too hard on this. I know I'm gonna come off pretty annoying to some of you, which I do apologize, but this has been on my chest for like probably the past year. I also don't want to send any hate towards the devs, as hard as that is to believe. I personally am just disappointed on how Dead by Daylight's turned out. This by no means is a goodbye to Dead by Daylight or a goodbye to the channel. I'll still be uploading Dead by Daylight on YouTube as much as I possibly can. As for live streaming on Twitch, I used to stream this game around 8 hours a stream, and for the most part had a pretty fun time, but I think it's time that I start branching off and trying new things. If you have anything that you disagree with or anything you want to correct me that I've stated in this video, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys for listening to me completely rant my ass off once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, guys.